people have been successful in our business. I think you're going to enjoy that. Let's give them just one more second to get back in here, folks. You don't want to miss this. Frazier, you come right to the front, sir. Mr. Simon Brooks, if you would come up to the front. I'm really looking forward to hearing from Mr. Simon Brooks this afternoon. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be not going to want to miss. All right. Just real quickly, if you could just package your income story in a very short period of time, I just want people to know that you can make some money in this incredible business.
Just yesterday, I did 2,000 for my global. And, well, I started in September. And so in 5 months, I became global. So that's my story. So.
Hi, yes, my name's Alan Platt from Manchester in the UK. Shopping Sherlock is absolutely fantastic. We went global in our 3rd full month. So when you get your head around the compensation plan, we were getting thousands and thousands and thousands a week after our 12th week in the business. And also in our 1st month, we got all that small initial investment back, which is what, just $249. And effectively, if you think about that also in the 1st month, we've now got residual income coming in that more than covers for years ahead of the monthly fee just in our 1st month. So yeah, absolutely rocks. So yeah, if you're a guest, don't miss this. Get on board as quick as you can. Absolutely.
Здравствуйте, добрый день. Меня зовут Сергей. Я из России.
Hello, my name is Sergey. I'm from Russia.
Alright, guys, try don't forget Russian language. You know, there's too many in English. Basically, I'm from Russia, but I'm living in Liverpool, and I had last 125 pounds to pay for water bill because it's crisis. And the guy, which name was Fraser Brooks, I didn't know him. He sent me a message over Skype and says, would you like to look on this opportunity? For some reason, I look on this and I'm here. And I got last 125 pounds to pay water bill, which I invested last a bit to this opportunity. Now I can travel, I got plans, and I'm very, very fine. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Fraser Brooks here. Ni hao, привет, как дела? Good day, mate. Alright, pal. All those guys, ni hao. I'm 24 years old. I joined this 6 days before my final ever university exams. So you can imagine those 6 days I had no time. So Thursday, sponsored 4 people. Day 6, I was in an exam, got a call to say I went power distributor. I actually became the first power distributor outside of America. Wow. So that was... I'm fortunate enough I've got, talking about building 2 legs, one on the left, one on the right. I've got Sergey on my left leg, who got Alan on his left leg, and I've got Giancarlo on my right leg. So you can see I've got Russia on one side, Italy on the other side. My best week in the business was actually a part-time week. I did 8 hours that week. I wasn't feeling very well. I made $3,635.61 in that week. Wow. That month ended up making over $11,500. I'm only 24. I've had no experience with this before. I'm actually very, very shy. So I find it hard. I've got a phobia of speaking in public, but that's my income story, and Shopping Sherlock has changed my life.
I'm Simon Brooks. Been 25 years in the industry of network marketing, and been involved in the Sherlock now. It's about just under 3 years. Made about just under $750,000. So that's not to impress you. That's to express upon you that it works. This is such a no-brainer. Give it away for free, and people make money. Now, I don't know how I make money. All I was told was I need to introduce people. So I just go out there and introduce people. Someone said to me, keep excited. To be really excited, you should wear red underwear. I said, well, I get more excited not wearing any underwear. You see, I live life. Wait, two philosophies. Number one, never at my age. Number two, never grow up. That's the way I live. So at the end of the day, if you are a prospect here, if you are a guest, you have got to be brain dead not to fill that application form out and get this opposition. Because I tell you now, with this opportunity there is no investment. With this opportunity there is no investment. There's a small outlay of $249. Now, I don't know about some people in this room. I've spent more than that on a bottle of wine going out for dinner. That's not an investment. An investment is if you get involved in some of these other opportunities that ask you for $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000. That's an investment. 249 is not an investment. I don't care how poor people are. That's not an investment. Folks, this opportunity works 100% of the time for 100% of the people that give it the time. My name is Simon Brooks. Thank you.
We're going to keep moving right along. I'd like Randy Tate to come back up. Randy Tate is a phenomenal leader on our team. He's a global power distributor from Sacramento, California, and he has got a phenomenal business growing around the world. So Randy Tate, thank you, sir.
I get the pleasure of introducing Laurel, because I'm the one that introduced the Shopping Sherlock to Laurel. So she's a good one to have on your left leg. But what Laurel does, for those of you, just out of curiosity, raise your hand if you've never seen her speak. Wow. You guys are very true. Literally, Laurel is the leading person on this planet changing the conversation about money and training entrepreneurs. I mean, Chuck's been to a workshop. I fly all over the world with her now and help her train. And she literally will change the way you think and do business. You know, she is a 5-time New York Times bestselling author, Dr. Phil Money Coach, MSNBC. You know, she's globally known. Typically, you know, it would cost a company tens of thousands of dollars to get her to come speak and train. She's here completely on her own dime as a true representative of this company. Fair to say? So I'm going to show like a little introduction video for you guys to watch so you can start to get your head around her, those of you that don't know her. So if we can turn the music up.
This is CBS 2 News this morning. Langemeyer is here.
You can run from creditors, but you can't run from a credit score. And I know I bring it capable and ready to pick yourself if you know what. Don't believe something like that. They're teammate artists. Everyone does this with a team. So we've already done what we want to do. So go find those companies. That money comes easily and frequently when you demand that it comes to you. Because you demand your life to be bigger. You demand that you're here to do something bigger. Let me meet you where you are and take you where you need to go. Because 1 year from now, you're going to wish you started today. So ready? Let's go.
So can I have all of you please stand up? No. So you guys get a little taste there. Like? So here's what I do know. Laurel Langmeyer functions on energy. She is one gigantic ball of it. So put your hands together, make some noise, get her up here. Laurel Langmeyer.
Oh, so a chick's I like that. All right. Bring the music down. All right, here's why you're standing. How many of you have seen me before? How many of you have seen me live? You have no idea what you're in for, girlfriend. Yeah, I know. All right, so those of you standing, you know what we do. We take a quiz. Isn't that exciting for you? And as you flunk, you sit down. Is that a deal? All right, so what you saw in the video is I'm known for making millionaires. So the Millionaire Maker book, how many of you have read it? How many of you want to make money? You're all going to read it. You like that? You're all just going to zoom over to Amazon and get it. But you have to go through your affiliate link on the Sherlock to get it. You got that all sorted out? All right. So when you read the book, and never before, even though I wrote this in 2006, never before is there a time, and this is really serious, there's never a time in our lives where we have a faster opportunity to become a millionaire. You guys get it? Yeah. So why? So you're agreeing, so now tell me about it. So my company's called Live Out Loud, so that means a conversation. So I'm not just going to give you a nice little lovey speech today. I might do a little ass kicking today. Ooh, you guys, yeah. Like, how many of you want to make money? Yeah. Like, seriously. Like, how many of you say it, and you say it, and you say it, and you said it at the beginning of the year, and then still nothing's happened? Like, that's the kicking I'm talking about. Like, you got to get rigorous with yourself if you want to play. You guys got it? Like, on a scale of 10, you got to be a 20. Because we're, recovering from the Depression and the fiscal cliff and the presidential election and all the dramas. Who cares? Yeah, bullshit. Yep. All right, you got it. All right, so when you read my book, right, because you're going to, I have a cool game that goes with this too. And I'll tell you my story about it. I used to work with Kiyosaki and did the cash flow game, my Millionaire Maker game. Far superior. If I do say so myself. But here's what happens when you read this, is I want you to find your story in here. There's about 7 kind of things that people do in their financial life. Everyone assumes that being in debt is the worst financial situation. That's not true. Some of you might be cash poor millionaires. That's a tough place to be. A millionaire with no cash? That's like bad. Right? Not a fun place to be. Now, you guys in debt say, that's a better place than I am. So we all look at everybody else's pastures greener, right? And then there's a lot of folks, there's a huge chapter of a family who knows how to make a lot of money, but they spend it all and they have no assets. That doesn't work. So whatever the story is and whatever you did to yourself financially, you find yourself in here, and then I walk you into a millionaire plan. All right? Every plan has these 7 things. So the reason I do this quiz is I'm always curious who's the closest and on track to be millionaires. All right? So the first thing is your relationship to money. If you don't have a yes energy relationship to money, meaning you say yes, you figure things out, you said yes to being at this conference today, right? You say yes just because that's your attitude. You are not a no energy person. No energy is I can't afford it. I mean, look at the amount of international people here. Like, give them a hand. One of my campaigns this year, there's only 17% of America that have passports. So I don't know about you, when this country goes to hell, you better have a passport to get out of here. Like, you know, and we're going to go join the rest of you in your countries. We'll play with you in your country, because I don't know what's going to happen in this one. Now, I'm kind of teasing, but I'd always give it up to international people. They always come to America, and America does not go back. And I think we need to, like, that whole thing's got to shift. So your relationship to money is not no energy. If you have debt, so what? Right? Debt is a result of what you did to yourself in the past. It's not a result of today forward. You guys get that? Yeah. All right. So if you have a yes energy relationship to money, stay standing. If you have a no energy relationship to money, have a seat. And it's a truth-telling test. We're going to be with you. I can read your energy in a minute. So you're all going to say you're good, huh? Yeah. All right. I'll buy it for this 1 minute. All right. Now, your starting point. You also have to know where you are. So you got to know your P&Ls and your balance sheets. So those of you who are already in Shopping Sherlock, you need to have this as an independent business. You don't need to be commingling this with your personal account. So I'm going to let you off the hook a little bit. But as you get into this, you have to know where you are. So if you don't know within a couple $100 where you are, your income, expenses, cash flow, assets, liability, net worth. So if you don't know where you are, have a seat. Truth telling. You all know financially where you are. I like how you're all having to think about it. Check the room. Is anybody else sitting down? Okay, I will. All right. Now the next one is once you know where you are, you got to know where you're going. I don't use the word retirement, and as you read a lot of my work, you like how you're going to do that, don't you? You're going to make money or not? Yeah. Who's your financial coach?
You are.
Thank you. You're sorting that out by now. All right. So Freedom Day. So I changed the language of money because some of it's really negative. Retirement is what the industrial age call it. Do you know what the definition of retirement is when you go to the dictionary? It's rehire. It's something like that. It's actually an agricultural word that means to put cattle to pasture to die. So I don't know whoever made up the word retirement, but it's such a stupid word. Like, we're not cows, we're not going to die. And that gentleman that said, like, I'm always a kid, I'm never growing up, I got that same problem. Actually, it's not a problem, it's a choice. Right? It's the best choice. So I want you to have Freedom Day. There's also a reason I use this word, is I want it age associated to like 60s and 70s when you retire and go sit on a chair. So I've been on Barbara Walters and The View with millionaire kids. So some of you, like, this is such an easy business to get your kids in. Right? And done right, really run like a business. You can have, your kids can work for the company. They're tax deductible. If you don't have any kids, you should get some. But it is such an easy business for your kids to work, right? And have them be a whole part of it. And I also believe that kids can become millionaires. I've created a lot of them. So, how do you want to play the game? It's awesome. Like, what else would you do? Right? So Freedom Day is not, in my languaging pattern, associated to your net worth. It's associated to your monthly cash flow. So if you don't know how much monthly cash flow you need to do what you want because you want, have a seat. That's your Freedom Day number. So is it $5,000 a month? Is it $10,000 a month? Is it $20,000 a month? What's that monthly goal you're going for? Okay, and those of you standing, yell it out. How much do you want? 1.2 million. That's year, so that's $100,000 a month. What do you got right now? I'm living out loud, dude. What do you got right now?
What I got right now? My goal.
1.2. But if you don't have 1.2 in a year, it's too big. I'm never going to take your goal away. I'm going to let you have it later, but I want to hit a goal. I'm going to hit a goal.
10,000 a month.
Okay, good. Thank you. So 10,000 a month. How many of you 10,000 consistently a month? Right? Would be a good goal. 20,000. 30,000. And I know we want the big one. I guarantee I'll never take that one away from you. Right? I play there. I know that one. It's a fun one. So, but what I know about teaching this for 16 years is that if you can't get the one done in the small numbers, you're never going to be delivered the big numbers. I always say God doesn't deliver to chaos. And if you can't be responsible for the small amount you have, you sure in the hell aren't going to get any more. You guys get that? That's why a lottery ticket people never win, never sustain it. You've got to have the ability to hold a $10,000 a month lifestyle, and then you'll grow it to 20. And then I promise you there are leaps and bounds. If you can hit 100,000 in this business, hitting 400 to 500,000 is not difficult. It's your first 100 that's the hardest 100 to make, isn't it? Your first 100,000 is the most challenging money because, especially in America, actually worldwide, we're designed to have jobs and work for 60 to 80,000. Oh God, gross. All right. Now the next one is relationship to debt. Earlier I said it's the fastest time in our lives to ever become millionaires. Why is that? We didn't answer that question. Let's go back to that. That's that part where you talk to me, man. Remember? Why is it more easy? Like it's the easiest time in our life to become a millionaire. Global economy, technology, what else? The huge opportunities. Sherlock. Money's cheap. Real estate's cheap. Businesses are cheap. Right? I mean, how I'm into this business is not when it was called Sherlock, right? It was way before. It was falling down. And I can tell you, there was just a grand team of people who picked that thing up. Michael, led that charge. Right? Chuck's been a big part of that. Randy, Elizabeth. We've all been a big part of growing this thing back up. It could have fallen down. Right? I picked up a lot of little broke businesses, and I turned that. So I got a pizzeria, for example, in Tahoe. I got it for nothing, and I turned it for 42% in 4 months. I don't know, that's kind of a good ROI. But so there are businesses that are broke because people don't know how to run through this economy. There is real estate that's broke. There is mining. There is environmental. No, we all have time. Money. You don't know how. I don't like the word ignorance, but you don't know how. Right? You don't know how to do it. So it's great to say all these things. Like a lot of you say, well, let's go buy this great real estate. A lot of people don't know how. Right? All right, so relationship to debt. The reason I brought that up is because when you learn to make this money, right, and you share with how much money you can make. So as you make money, I want money going to buy assets. So you make money, you keep money, you buy assets, you're through this thing in 3 to 5 years and you're easily a multimillionaire. You guys get it? I'll keep repeating that. But you want to make it, you got to keep it, and you got to invest it. And then you got to learn how to do all that. We're not trained as entrepreneurs. So you got to learn how to do all this. So on your way up to millionaire status, as you make money, if you're unwilling to take on good leverage, good debt, right? If you're unwilling to leverage, have a seat. If you don't understand the question, have a seat. Which is fine, because it's a big financial literacy thing that I'm talking about. And if you don't know it, that's fine. We'll just sort it out. I'll teach you about that, and we'll get it going. Now, the next one is you got to keep your cash. So this is probably a hypersensitive one. How many of you are just brand new to the Sherlock? How many just signed in? How many of you that are standing just signed in? Okay. So how many of you standing all have, you're up and running as a business? Like for real. You're running this like a real business, not all a hobby. Okay, those of you who have your hand up, you're running it like a business, keep your hand up. If you are not in corporate structure, and that's worldwide. So in America, it's LLCs, limited partnerships, S Corps, C Corps. In Australia, it's proprietary limiteds and trusts and corporations. In the UK and Russia, it's just corporations, partnerships. So if you have no corporate structure to maximize your tax benefits, to keep money home, have a seat. Another way to say it, if you're still a sole trader, sole proprietor, down you go. Look around, this is good. It's a lot of people. All right. Some of you say, this isn't a lot. It is a lot. I do this every week. This is my 4th show this week. I can promise you this is a lot of people. I was in San Jose on Thursday. By now, there was no one standing. No one. The whole room was down. That's how struggling America is. Right? It's not any better in Australia. I have an office in Australia right on Yonge Street in Sydney, and same kind of quota. Now, so you see what we're doing here, right? You have a relationship to money. You know where you are. You know where you're going. You're willing to leverage as you make it. You're going to keep it, and then your money's got to make money. So if you don't have a plan for 10% or more return on your asset base, and your annual average rate of return is not 10% or more. You don't have to have it invested, but you have to have a plan for it. So if you don't have a plan for it, have a seat. That's the lazy assets that I'm talking about. Right there. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Jenny, play.
Sure.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 standing. Dun, 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 dun. Last question is team leadership. You're not doing this alone. And most people fail in business because you insist to do this alone. I can promise you the saving of this company and the turnaround of this company wouldn't have been just one person. Would you agree with that, Michael?
Absolutely.
It took a heck of a team, man, to put this thing together and move it around and have our first conference. This was awesome. Aren't you guys excited? How many people?
Oh, yeah.
There was a day, Chuck, there was sweat and blood. Right? So team and leadership. So back to your question about time. We all have the same clock. Right? So one of the biggest excuses I get is, well, I don't have enough time. And I'd say you're using your time wrong. So where can you get time back in your life? Where do you get time back in your life to work the business? Leverage. What do you leverage first?
TV.
Other people's time to do what? Your home life. Your home life. So rich people, right, are you planning all to be rich?
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of a whippy yes. So do rich people clean toilets?
No.
Not unless they own the cleaning company. You guys get it? So you don't clean your house. You got to give that up first. And some of you women say, oh, but nobody can clean. This is my mother, just so we're clear too. Right? Nobody can clean it better than me. Really? Okay, so let's just put this in perspective. You want to run a company, right? And this is a business you're going to run. Right? If you can't get your household organized and handled by other people, are you going to run marketing, sales, accounting, fulfillment, technology, and run a proper company?
Wow.
You got a lot to do on this side of the house to actually bring the money in the door and not worry about your toilet, for God's sakes. Right? So if you have no home help, so from landscaping to cooking to cleaning to errands to doing laundry, if you have nobody helping in your home, have a seat. A man is not a plan, dude. Chicks along for this ride. Sit yourself down. That was fun. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give him a hand. Well done. All right. That's kind of fun, huh? So what'd you learn? There was a lot. It was like an MBA right there. Okay, so you learned a lot, so be specific. And what do you need to learn? What do you know you need to learn just based on that? This would be that part where you talk back to me again. Let your wife help, please. Get your wife some help, because then they can participate. Get your kids involved, right? So many people, and it's not just in American culture, but so many people work really hard to have two lives, a personal life and a professional life. Entrepreneurs have a life. We integrate the whole thing. Right? I'm a single mom. I got a 13-year-old and I got a 6-year-old. Right? And I haul them all over the world with me. They have amazing little passports. Right? In January, we're going to Antarctica. You want to go? We're taking 80 people on a ship. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, some of you say, why would you go there? Because one of my goals, because I grew up on this farm in Nebraska, so we never traveled. My first airplane ride, I was 17 years old. We didn't leave the farm. Are you kidding? That's all we did. Corn, soybeans, cows, pigs. It was a very exciting life. I thought there's got to be a life outside of this. Right? How many of you grew up with families where you look at your family like now as an adult and say, how the hell did I end up here? Like, I'm not like those people. Like, those aren't my people. We're genetically related, but they're not my people. How many of you got that? How many of people that you would never tell you went to this conference today? Because they would think you're nuts. Not only nuts going to a conference where you're going to learn how to run a business, right? But an MLM kind of one. Oh my God. Like, you're super insane now. Right? Okay, so we have about an hour or so. You guys want to get to it or just be entertained? Alright, but I promise you both. So, you want to take some notes. The first thing you're going to do is you have to really do a deep assessment about the people in your life. Because one of the things that, I'm going to tell you a little story about my whole world in a minute. But the thing that probably slowed my growth down, which mine has been really hyper-speed growth compared to most, but what's really slowed it down is not doing what I'm going to tell you. How many of you know what I'm going to tell you? Clean up the people in your life. Like rigorously. Like some of you tolerate so many negative people. Like the people who say, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, you can't do that. Right? And then wait till you really get to know me what I'm going to tell you to do. When I tell you to go buy assets in real estate, go get incorporated. You know, a typical CPA in America, or actually a lot of the accountants in Australia, because like I said, I do business over there and I have a company in Mexico. I've got a lot of global stuff. But most accountants worldwide would say, unless you make 6 figures, you shouldn't be incorporated. Right? How many of you have been told not to get incorporated? Okay, so fire those people. Horrible advice. Horrible advice. What kind of advice? Horrible. Here's why. You guys ready? Okay, so I want you to clean up the people in your life. Here's why. For you to really get to it and say yes, you only can have yes people in your life. Only have yes people. And I'll tell you in a while how to do with family members, because they love that I talk about them. Actually, they're like, would you stop using us as an example? Well, then shift. I'm going to humiliate you into it. By the way, my family doesn't know what I do at all. They've never read a book. None of them. 5 New York Times. You think I have a little bit of advice? Never read a book. No, they got dust on them when I go home. Yeah, they read, 50 Shades of Grey, and I read money books. It's interesting. All right, so you got to clean up the people in your life. Let's just get to why this is so critical today. And I am so passionate. Like, I don't think I've ever been more passionate about teaching this stuff, but I've been doing it for a long time, is the economy. We are in the greatest recovery economy in the history of our lives. So in 1933, we had the Great Depression. And what really happened was the stock market crashed and there was a run on the bank. That's kind of cute. There were 9 variables in this depression. So they haven't really called it a depression because no one wants to really go there because of the outflow of inflation and all the other financial indicators that will happen because of it. So they're just trying to like cuddle the world around. But literally this depression was a global one. So America spun the world into the greatest depression the world has ever seen. I mean, Europe, Greece, they had their own mess before, but it just catapulted. Part of our strategy to live through the Depression in 2007 is when I started going over to Australia. Last year I took 10 trips to Australia. That's a lot. My kids have passports like nuts. They take turns going with me. Right? They love it. And then my daughter, Randy travels with it all the time. She's like, we run through airports and she's like, oh, for God's sakes, man, could you pick me up? My little legs can't take it. We're just like, come on, let's go. Anyway, going global is huge. We have hit the biggest depression. So what's cool about it is what has everyone wrote about since the even late 1800s. What happens when depressions happen? Generational wealth happens. So I want you to write that down, because I know you all hear this stuff, but I want to make it super practical and super clear that you actually get to participate. You guys get that? Do you want to participate? Yeah. Because here's the sad news. If you don't participate, you'll be like our grandparents of the Depression and say, oh, it was so bad. Oh, just save your pennies. Right? I mean, there's industrial age work out there that would say, cut your coupons, don't buy a house, it's risky. You know who says that? She's a chick too, but the advice is horrible. Right? Because I think what you got to get. And I like it personally, but I can't even stand the advice. It's so wrong. So there's 2 schools of thought. I think I got to back up and tell you that. So out of the 1933 Depression, started a schooling system and then industrial era of what? Schools are designed for us to get jobs. Still today, that's why the school systems are horrible. They're designed to have us get jobs. I have another book called Cash Machine. My first page, I say Christopher Columbus did not discover America. You look at Haiti, any great country, who recovers great countries? Workers or entrepreneurs? The entrepreneurs do. So as you sit here, how many of you have jobs? Really, come on, be honest. How many of you have a job? How many of you know that when your income surpasses in the Sherlock, right, in this whole business, you're going to quit that job? Your intent is to use this business with the job. Yeah. How many of you want to keep your job? Okay, we'll do therapy soon. There will be no job. Now, the only job I'm okay with is that you actually are employed by your own company. Right? And then your kids are employed by your own company. So, Entrepreneurs, we're all in agreement entrepreneurs change the economy. Yeah. Right? So you have an opportunity to be an entrepreneur. Right now, if you haven't signed up into this thing, you're going to, by the way. That's part of my deal here today. How many of you haven't signed up yet? You're still deciding if you're going to do this. Oh, come on, there's a whole bunch of you. How many are not shopping Sherlock yet? Raise your hand. Where's your order form? Get it out and put it right in front of you. I'm not going to do anything with it yet. Just get it out. Look at it. Oh, you don't have one. This lady needs one. Can we have some more? Oh, that's not an order form, girlfriend. Randy, pass out order forms. Please raise your hand if you need an order form. You need an order form. These two ladies, 3. I'm not even done with you guys yet. All right, so why is it so good? Assets are cheap. Money's cheap. You get 4%, right? Businesses are bankrupt because people don't have a damn clue how to run a company. Right? Which I'm so passionate about teaching you how to run companies, because when you can see the gold that's right in front of you. I mean, in Australia, we're putting together real estate projects. We have a mining project. I just got introduced to a Polonia tree that you can infuse with amino acids, and your return on cash flow is 100% in 18 months. Where do you get that investment? It's in the Central Valley of California. So when I say, like, all these cool investments you can do, what's the number one thing running through your head? I don't have any cash. So let's make some money, right? That's what this is for. Let's make a ton of cash, because at the end of this, are you really going to stand back and look at your children and downline your whole family and say, you know, I met this woman one time who said she'd walk us into generational wealth, but I decided to sit on my ass and watch, cartoons and TV and reality shows because I was too lazy to do it. Because let's be honest, that's the conversation. Because you have every opportunity, I don't care how old you are, how young you are, where you came from, like, all that's the story. Like, I didn't come from any beginning, like, knowledge about money. I grew up on a farm. We worked our butts off. My grandfather used to say, if the animals don't eat, you don't eat. Go do your chores. I couldn't leave there fast enough. I got to skip a grade. Like, I just thought, okay, how do you get out of here fast? Well, you get really smart, and then you skip grades, so you get to move on. Right? And then I went to college. So that's just part of our little story here. So I went on to college, and I got a finance degree. And then I didn't want to really sit around. So I did what every other American did at that time. Actually, not American, because I know it's an international crowd. What do you do when you get out of college and you still don't know what you want to do? You keep going to school. You go back to school because you store more letters behind your name, like they're going to get you anything fabulous. So I have a master's degree in exercise physiology. So I took these funny 2 degrees, exercise and finance, and I started evaluating for blue-collar companies how expensive it was to have unhealthy people. So when I was 24, I got my first big yes moment in my life. And Chevron invited me to New Orleans to design 272 fitness centers on offshore oil rigs. Never been there. Didn't even know what oil was. Because I kept saying, do you want to work on an oil rig? I said, what? Oil rig? Oil. What the hell's oil? I can't understand you people. I don't know if I can work down here. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you a couple stories in my life. And the reason I want to do this is I want you to get the mindset of a millionaire. Right? I want you to get the mindset of a millionaire, and I want you to think about the times where you've said yes. So the real saying, I want you to write this down. Right? You can make a little poster, put it on your wall. One of my famous lines is, say yes and figure out how. Say yes and figure out how. See, a lot of you, you're doing the opposite. You're trying to figure out how. You want the exact guarantee how the shopping Sherlock is going to be your guaranteed money. Right? It can work like that. You got to say yes that you want this life. You got to say yes that you want a corporate life, that you want a wealth building life. You guys get that? So are rich people rich because they personally make money, or are rich people rich because their company makes all the money? Their company makes all the money. So this needs to turn into, whatever continent you're in, we'll help you figure it out, this needs to turn into an LLC, a limited partnership, an S Corp. And we have tons of people who will help you sort that out very easily and simply. Because in America, and those of you that are international, you want a company back here, because America actually has the best tax code structure. We have 4 corporate structures that you can live your life in, and then you're going to be employed in that company, inside that company. Am I losing you guys? Am I breaking it down now? You guys get it? You're going to have a company. This is going to be your business. It's a legal reason to make money. In America, you ready for this number? 73,000 pages of tax code are available to you. 73,000 1,000 pages. So TurboTax is designed with, I think, 13 to 15 of those pages. So you can do TurboTax and say, woohoo, I got my $1,000 back. Or you can actually get a proper tax strategist to run. You guys get it? 73,000 pages of code. That's how much is available. See, when people make money that are rich, right? They make money, they get to deduct 73,000 pages of code. You get that? Oh my God, it's huge. Then you pay tax on what's left. Or you are a W-2. I'm going to get you out of there, John. Right? Now, there's a few of you who might have like a little reason to pay for a while, but not many. So in a W-2 job, and the rest of you, that's just a job, right? You make money, the tax comes out by the government, whatever government it is, and then you get paid what's left. So why would you allow the control to be that way when you don't have to? So if you have no other reason you want to do Shopping Sherlock is to change your tax basis, it would be one heck of a reason to do it. Because that's how rich people play. That's how rich people play. You make money, you have a legal reason to do it, right? So this whole conference for you is a tax deduction. It's a whole write-off. Right? And then when you're going to go visit all your friends, which should be cool in your thinking internationally, you have a reason to go to Liverpool, you have a reason to go to the UK, you have a reason, where are you from? UK. Liverpool. You have like a cool reason to go visit your business partners internationally. See, in our house, we don't use the word vacation. My son was 4 years old when he came home, and we just got back from a trip from Hawaii where I was speaking with Kiyosaki and Stanley Bach and a bunch of guys. And we got back, and I take my kids out of school all the time to travel with me. And he comes back, and the teacher says, "So Logan, how was your vacation?" He doesn't know what that word is. Right? He comes home from kindergarten, he puts his little hands on his hip, and he said, "Mommy, what is a vacation? People tease me about it all day." I said, something that we're not doing in our lifetime. We go on business trips. Right? So he kept saying, "I didn't go on a vacation, I went on a business trip." So here it is, this poor little kindergarten can't figure out what the people were talking about. So I'm talking like, I want this to not bleed. I want you to purposely educate your families to the next level of generational wealth. You guys get it? Yeah. So when I say get rigorous, like that alone just should make your decision. There's no, and if you don't have a business, like doesn't sound like you three do, get one. This is. So I want you to get incorporated, treat this like a serious business. If you haven't signed up, so here's, I'm going to actually pick on those of you who haven't signed up. Who brought you here? Orman, where are you? Why haven't you closed her yet?
Couldn't get to her.
Oh, man. See, you guys think I was going to pick on you. I thought this whole thing was spun a different way. So if you brought somebody to this meeting, stand up. If you brought somebody to this meeting that you want them to sign up, stand up. Alright, so I'm going to teach you guys how to sell. I mean, I could do all your work for you, and I just might get it done for you today, but from here on out, I better get an extra commission on top of you if I got to keep doing it. See, you guys got to learn to like bring it home. Alright? Deal? That's so wimpy, come on. Alright, sit back down. Alright, so, are you guys all in for this now? Yeah. Real business, real incorporation, generational wealth. You keep your money, invest your money, and then when the presidential election, regardless in any country that comes through and say, we're going to tax the rich, the only people they can tax that are going to get hurt are high-income earners. Because that's the only way to control it. You take your paycheck, they take the money out, and you get the crumbs left. So you have no excuse to get going, do you? And then when you want to pass it on to your kids eventually take over the companies, and we just play. So that's my game. I want the big game, the millionaire game, and I want you playing in it. And then those of you that are employed, like I'm employed by my company, Live Out Loud, I just make the average American income $42,000. That's all I make. Why would I make any more? I don't need it. My company's got all these deductions. You guys get it? Yeah. How many of you realize you are not playing the game? Wow. Yeah. So Randy wasn't playing the game, and we met. His first tax, so what we'll do is we help you like, get all this set up. Randy's first refund was what, $72,000? Yep. So don't tell me you can't afford it. You've already spent it wrong. Another ways to get it back. You got back over $72,000 in taxes that he'd overpaid by playing the game wrong. Get it? That's why you guys are so passionate about it. Whew. Now it's good. All right. I want you to write down your say yes moments. I say yes and figure out how. I want you to start saying yes more. And when you can't figure things out, I want you to write down this next line. Who knows how to get it done for me? So the real answer is say yes and figure out who knows how. Like, I don't know how to do half the things that we do. Right? Just the team between Elizabeth, Randy, and I. Right, Michael, you met us all. Like, we're a perfect combination. You got Elizabeth with her little tiny glasses and her MBA and her McKinsey background who can rip through a spreadsheet faster than I've ever seen anybody rip through a spreadsheet. I can talk and sell better than anybody else you've ever known. And he's our glue that keeps us all kind of together. So we all need each other. You see what I mean? Like, I know how to do some of those spreadsheets. I have that degree. But do you know how long, because it's not what I do every day, it would have, like how many hours I would have to do what she can do in 5 minutes? Right? So there are so many things you guys are doing that you're no good at. And instead of saying, well, I can't be an entrepreneur because I don't know how to do everything, you say, well, who's going to get all this done for me? Because you still got to do it. Does that make sense? So I want you to write down one more thing. This is really critical because it's going to go in your head and then you aren't going to get it until you really start playing. Is entrepreneurs lead. They don't do. They don't do the work. Now, you have to do some of the work in the beginning, let's be honest. But they're not the ones building the website. You're not doing your own accounting. You're not doing everything. Some of you are doing everything, and you're not good at half the things. How many of you are there right there? You know that's what I'm talking about. You're trying to do this business. You're trying to do other business, and you don't know how to do half the things. So you just sit struggling and stuck. How many of you are there? Come on, be honest. Right? All right. So my first say yes moment was I went and designed 272 fitness centers on offshore rigs. I turned to the guy when he offered me a multi-million-dollar contract and I said, so who actually bid on this that knows how to do it? Right? So I lived what I'm telling you to do. And they said, well, it was an engineering firm, but we actually trust your leadership, right? More than we trust the engineering firm to get it done, because they'll be too analytical. So I went to the engineering firm and I gave 1% of the contract. So it's called joint venture. Right? That was my first say yes moment. Made lots and lots of money. Whoops, wrong way. The next thing is I ended up having to work for Chevron. And me and my values, and you can tell my personality, working inside a company was like prison. Oh, God. How many of you are unemployable? Like, it just couldn't occur to you. Like, I don't care how tough times get, getting a job would not even occur to a cell in your body. Like that. Okay, that's... How many of you are like that? Like you're serial entrepreneurs. How many of you can't wait till that occurs for you? Me either. And the rest of you that even think about keeping your job, we're going to have a little therapy afterwards. Because you clearly aren't getting the model. And it isn't because I'm caring much about the job, is I want you in the tax structure that's going to keep your life safe. Right? All right. So then, I was at Chevron. I had to become an employee because I was flying around in helicopters, and the insurance flying around in helicopters offshore was so expensive, it was more than my salary. So, what they offered me. So I took the job, and then I ended up in San Francisco corporate headquarters after living in New Orleans for 3 years, and then I needed out. So Bob Proctor introduced me to Kiyosaki. I became the master distributor of a game. The reason I share that, and it's like a lot of you here in the room, is if you don't have something to sell, like it's taken me 10 years to get all these books and games and my own work together. So if you don't have your own work, doesn't mean you can't be an entrepreneur. You sell someone else's work. Right? So I sold Kiyosaki stuff. And that's actually during the era where I actually got very involved in network marketing stuff. I mean, I met Randy at an ECAN convention, right? I spoke for a lot of them. I love it. So for me, even though I do financial education, this is easy for us to have in our business because everybody needs this. See, what's different about this is you're not going to get a whole garage full of soap. Right? And you don't have to push a product that's competitive to other things. This is just superior to other things. It's such a no-brainer for people to do it. So I have to acknowledge my little guy. You Gilbert, right? Stand up. Do you remember me? Yes. This morning, so we're in the gym. I walk in the gym, and this guy just started to run, and he's just pitching Sherlock like nobody's business to this guy on the treadmill. And it's just the guy's going, oh shit, she's running along, and here's Gilbert going, and you need to come to this meeting, and you need to listen to this half-hour thing. You were great. and then he walks out, and he passes his card out to me on the treadmill, too. You just gotta give it up. It was so good. That was good. I'll actually be there the next couple hours, but that's good. So I just want to acknowledge, that was great networking, man. He was just in there giving cards out. Like, let's go, dude. Now, here's my only tip for you. You need to get their card. Because if he doesn't follow up with you, you lost control. So, a lot of people say, where's your business card? I want your card. Yeah. And what I really want is your credit card. You guys all need to start saying that. Right? All of those that read, you need her credit card. And you don't need to get her signed out. She's going to make it back in minutes. But then you got to teach her to go say, I don't want your card, I want your credit card. So give me your card so I can follow up with you, and then give me your credit card so you buy it. How many of you are like, oh my God, that's so aggressive? Here's what I would say to those of you that get a little shocked by my intensity. Stay poor. What's your choice? You can either ask for the money or stay poor. It's totally your choice. So if I coached you and coached you and coached you, and you're like, man, it's just not working. My first question would be, Eddie, how many people have you asked for money today? Well, I'm a little tired. Whatever. Get in shape. I didn't see any of you but Gilbert in the gym this morning. Right? So here's the truth about entrepreneurialism, right? And I had to get in shape transitioning out of Chevron because jobs make you lazy. Right? Because you become very entitled to a little paycheck every 2 weeks. I love when people come and interview to work for me and they'll say, you don't know what it's like to live on commission. That's what entrepreneurs are. Our whole life's commission. It's so cute that you say that. But I'll tell you, all of you have this entrepreneur muscle, right? It's in our DNA. It's deep in our DNA. Even if you went through military families, I could take that out of you. Okay. Not like the military part, like that's disrespectful, meaning that it's very regimented, very regimented. We actually do a whole 10% offer. We do a whole thing called Serve Out Loud for all of our returning backs. So we actually honor them a lot. But I can tell you they're tough to work with because they're so rigorously trained to not say yes and figure it out. Just do what you're told. Whew. So just know, I know that we'll help you. Move over. But all of you have the muscles to do this. My point is that you've atrophied entrepreneurs right now. So the only way you're going to become a great entrepreneur, a rich entrepreneur, is you got to get in shape. That makes sense? Yeah. Okay, so I want you to write down 6 things. This is a whole different page. I want you to pin this on your wall, because this is what businesses do. I don't care what business you ever do. All businesses do these 6 things. They market, which is what you're all doing here. You've got to market. You've got to market, market, market. And in the future, you'll get the name, phone number, and email of that dude, right? And then, right, because he actually lives in China. So he could be a nice little local connection over there. So you'll get their name, phone number, and email. So every company markets, and then what does every company do after they market? Just think common sense. You market, you get a name, phone number, and email, somebody's interested. No, let's use the right word. You don't follow up.
Contact.
It's a 4-letter word, starts with an S. You sell them. You sell them. And you're like, oh, but that's so aggressive. Then stay poor. Now, I'm going to go back to that. I'll tell you. So you market, you sell. Then you do what? You got money now.
Invest.
No, you're not even close to ready to invest. You're still trying to run a company. No? You put the money in the bank. It's called accounting. Okay, so you got to do accounting, right? So you got to account for what's going on in the bank. So notice that you marketed, you have sold something, you put the money in the bank, you haven't fulfilled anything. Now, what's cool about Shopping Sherlock is that happens pretty simultaneously, very quickly, right? Where in other businesses, what I find with most businesses is they actually fulfill stuff, and then they hope to God they get paid. The whole model is wrong. You want to market, sell, get paid, then fulfill, then follow up and say, so, how'd you like that thing? And they'll say, it was fabulous. And then you go back to number 2 and you sell them more stuff. You guys get it? So there's an easy way to put a constant stream of cash. So you market, you sell, you do accounting, you fulfill, you follow up, you say, so Paul, how'd you like that thing? Paul says, fabulous. I'll say, great, buy something else. Number 2, I sold him something else. I put the money in the bank, I fulfilled that. I follow up and say, how'd you like that other thing? He'll say, that was fabulous too. So you want more stuff. So over time, you gotta get more stuff to sell. Make sense? Entrepreneurs do 2 things. They serve people, right? They solve problems and meet needs. So what problem are you solving for people with Shopping Sherlock? Solutions. What? Time savings, money savings, speed in shopping, tons of time. Now, the battle you're going to have in the sales process is that people don't value their time, so they'll say, whatever, I go to Costco. That's the $500 store, by the way. You never walk out of there less than $500. Right? Convenience. Right? So you solve problems with needs. That's what we're doing. And I want you to start learning to really get this business system. I want you not to do this. Like, a lot of people will take on a business like this, and you'll treat it like a little hobby. So when I say get in shape, what time are you getting up in the morning? How many calls are you making? How many people are you going to follow up with? How many times are you going to ask for the money? So there's a difference in following up. And as a woman, I think I came like in this woman's body with this intensity. So I can really pick on you women. Right? Because here's what women do. Let's go have a coffee and talk about it. I don't want a coffee. I want your credit card. Right? And then the other girlfriend thing is the girlfriend thing. Oh, that was so nice. So we're going to go, la la la, let's meet kids. No, I don't want to play it with the kids. I want your credit card. See, you chicks don't realize that. You women are, like, how many of you women just keep giving your life away for free? God, aren't you tired of that? And when I say a man's not a plan, that isn't like in any negative place. That actually comes from a bunch of widows that had men in their right try to take care of them, and when they died, because men, usually women outlive men, so that's how it started. I was coaching widows who didn't even know where the checkbook was. They didn't even know where the real estate documents were. Like, you got to be kidding. So a man's not a plan is this is a partnership, and you guys got to like get it all together. Your kids better be a part of it. All my work, by the way, our charity is we scholarship teenage kids. So anytime you ever come and hang out with us, your teens come for free. Always. I mean, Patty back there, Patty stand up. Patty's got such a strong rule that her kids, and she's a Harvard MBA, super brainiac woman. Give her a hand, she's amazing. Her kids have to come through my work, which is a proper MBA, before they can actually, or she won't pay for their traditional schooling. Because she wants them going to school with an entrepreneur mindset. Do you know Stanford's latest problem? If the sophomore to juniors are quitting school to be entrepreneurs. Don't you love that? Yeah. I love that problem. Yeah. Thank you, Patty. All right. So, whoops. Next big say yes moment. After I said yes. So I sat across the kitchen table from Sharon Lecter and Robert Kiyosaki, and I said, I can distribute your game. This was 1990. She said, you were such a liar that day. And I said, I wasn't lying. I just said, yes, I'll figure out how to sort out how to distribute your games. And we were at a point during our run together where I was doing $500,000 a month in games. Yeah. And then I went and played real estate, quit my job, and then this fabulous day came. And I always put this up here because I think this day is like a lot of you that you're sitting in this room. And my day was in January 8th, 1999. That little strip came up blue. It was like, wow, Corinne, I'm going to have a baby. So the problem was he didn't want to have a kid, and I did. So I was 34 years old, and I became a mom, and he never been a part of it, didn't want to be. And said, we're not going to do it. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. So I did it by myself. So all of you women, or just families, if you know what that means, like running a business, running a life, choosing to do it was huge. Right? I lived in San Francisco. I sure the heck wasn't going back to the farm. Right, so I was highly motivated, although I could, and my mother would always take me back. That was not the choice I was making. So I was like a lot of you. Right? How many of you feel like you have a lot of these puzzle pieces? Like what I'm saying is resonating, like you get it. Like some of this might be really new to you, but like you have part of the puzzle. Right? How many feel like that? So until the puzzle, until the pieces get in the right order, I call it sequencing. Until you get the right stuff going at the right time. Just like I gave you the order of how a business should run. Marketing, sales, accounting. Most of you don't do that. You're fulfilling and then you're praying for money. So if anything is out of sync, like here's another thing that's out of sync. You won't go get incorporated. You'll keep this business in a sole trader account, which means you've never committed to truly running it as a business. Sole trader land is hobby land. And in fact, the IRS #1 target in America for audits is sole proprietors. So the question isn't, are you making enough money? The question is, do you want to be rich or not? Do you want to live a wealthy lifestyle? Then your company has to make the money, not you. So out of sequence, that will slow you down. See what I mean? out of sequence, things don't work. So 1999, I had a whole bunch of stuff too. It was totally out of sequence. So I called somebody 20 years my senior, and I got really rigorous, and in 6 months became a millionaire. Right? Because I knew how to make money. I was just messing around, all over the world and playing. Right? So I got really serious. I set up bigger corporate structure. I set up trust. I set the whole thing up, and I invested like a maniac. And I learned to raise money. I didn't know how to raise money. He said, let's go raise money and buy real estate. I said, how do we raise money? He said, well, you go ask. Yeah, so we leveraged $16 million worth of real estate, and then I started a big real estate company. So from cash flow to that to single mom. My point in sharing that, though, is you all have the ability to do it. It's really a choice today. Are you going to do it or not? So if you started filling out those applications, my God, do I have to convince you anymore? Fill it out. Write your name down. She thinks I'm kidding. Why aren't you writing your name down yet? So here's my question. Who else is, I'm not just going to pick on these poor little people up here. Who else is still not signed up yet? Come on, you people, like you just stood up. So here's your choice. Okay, so I'm just going to talk to the distributors who brought you, right? So here's where you got to go. Is what's your choice? Do you stay poor? Like, what's your choice? Can you go get a job at a 12 million whatever unemployed? Like, get it done, right? So you guys bring the heat to their life and tell them you're going to support them. Deal? Yeah. And then we're going to lock you in until you fill it out. I have fun selling, as you can tell. All right. The other thing too that all of you have to do, and you can say, well, I don't want to write a book. I never wanted to write a book either. But in 2006, I'm sorry, when I was offered to write the Millionaire Maker book. The only difference between me and you, as you really get into business, first you got to get into the business. Sign up, get going, make some money. Then all of you need to write about your expertise. And now that book could be online, it could be a report. You could all write income reports about the Shopping Sherlock, how much money you made. Because when people can download even a report from you, it has you feel more credible. That makes sense? Right? And the company's got a ton of content, right? But make it yours. Right? Top 10 ways to earn income quick. I mean, you could run that through your school. It'd be crazy, right? How you actually made money during the exam. That'd be a fun flyer. Just blitz the whole school. Get everybody signing up. How'd you make $3 grand during the exam week? Like, God, that's a good campaign. I'll get 10% for that. That's a damn good idea. You see what I mean? Like, all of you gotta get your experience in the world where you have more credibility. People will sign up all day long for this. I would say most of you are sitting at home glad you signed up, and you're not doing any behavior that's getting it moving. That's right. And I love home-based businesses in the underwear, right? But the truth is, like, for a lot of you, until you really learn to get more savvy on the internet, you do things like Gilbert does. You just get out and go get business cards. Don't give them, get them. Go out and get 10 cards a day. You call them all back. You get them signed up. If you don't know how to sign them up, you call Chuck. You call Randy. Call somebody to help you sign them up. Right? And then at some point, your goals are going to come when you have the guts to say, give me your credit card. Right? Notice I have no energy asking for your credit card. It's like coffee. Like, how many of you, when you go get coffee this morning, did anybody go, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you buy coffee, you don't get nervous asking or receiving money. Like, oh my God, I'm going to get my latte today. So then why the hell are you getting nervous about $249? Just give me your card, sign up. One thing you buy will save you the money. Yeah. Get it? Like, get that sales energy out of it. You're the one bringing that negativity because you're scared. Just bring it. Do you guys get it? Like that confidence say, and when they say, oh no, I don't want to sign up, then stay poor. Yeah. I'm on with my life. And if you get desperate, that's the other thing too many of you do. You get your list of 10, and then you pound the list of 10. Get a list of 100. And then, as you become more and more successful, they're going to say, God, that's working. And say, it's going to cost you more now. They won't really, but you can just say that. Just kind of mess with people. All right, here's how I want you to design your life from here on. All right? Is I want you to write down these things. This is a homework assignment. It's one of the coolest homework assignments that any coach of mine's ever given. Which is, instead of designing your life like, here's what I find on income. A lot of people say, well, I want to make what my salary makes. Right? I want to make 60,000. I want to make 80,000. I want to make 100,000. Whatever you make in your job. I don't want you to design a business based on what your job has done. I want you to design this business and the revenue of the business, the Freedom Day number, based on this. So if you could live where you wanted to live, do what you wanted with your family. So like I said, with my family, my commitment by the time my kids are 16 is to take them to every continent. That's why we're going to Antarctica. Why not? Because we can. We're going to march with the penguins. We're going to build a little igloo. We're going to hang out. I mean, we're not going to be the cruisy kind of people like waving at the continent. We're getting off. We're going to stay. Yeah. We're getting off and staying for 6 days on the continent. Just because my dearest friend Nick Halleck knows how to do it. He knows how to speak Russian, and so we're going in a Russian sub. And we're going out of South America. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, I want you to say, like, so what are some of those goals? That's one of the biggest goals. That's one of my goals for my children, right? That they get to see the world. Because I didn't. I didn't get on an airplane, like I said, until I was 17. So I'm doing a lot of catch-up. Family, where are you living? Are you living where you want to live? I live in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. On the Nevada side. I live deep up in the mountains. It was so easy running at no altitude today. I was like, God, why is this run so simple? Like no altitude. Forgot about that. Right? So I live where I want to live because I want to ski a lot. My kids are on the ski team and I play. So the reason I share that, it's not an easy place to do business. It's actually very tough. The talent pool up there is either snowboarders, skiers, or stoners. So it's kind of tough to do business in a mountain resort town where all that's there. And I'm a skier too, but I got to come with this farm work ethic I got. So where do you want to live? Do you have all your health issues handled, or are you putting off surgeries or medications or things because you can't afford it? What's the legacy you want to leave? I want to change this conversation about money. Our nation, our world has got to become an entrepreneurial conversation. And the shows like Susie, like Bach, like Ramsey, that industrial age conversation should die. In the world, it needs to die. Not those people, but that save, spend, budgets. I say budgets are like diets. No one does them. Right? Just learn how to make a bunch of money. And for those of you that are in credit card debt, why are you in credit card debt? Because you don't make enough money. Right? And so what you do is you want a big life, so you outspend the life you know how to make on your job, and then you put the rest on a credit card. What's the answer to being debt-free forever? Make money. Sure, let's not like live within your means and skip and straight. God forbid, don't have a $3 latte every day. What a horrible life plan. Not have a latte every day. Or $3 item, right? That's like, so those are your choices. You can either restrict and minimize, $3 a day, live on a budget, or just learn how to make some damn money. A whole bunch of money. How many of you love making money?
Yeah.
How many of you know it's easy? Like you've already experienced some ease with making money. And then you're going to get tangled up, like stuff will happen, and then you got to get back on track, which is why the people in your life have got to be in that same mentality. And you really got to fire the rest of them. Right? I always say you got to trade up to better people. If you want to be a millionaire, you better start hanging out with them. Because we live, travel, breathe, to raise our children very, very differently. And it's not arrogant. It's just a different choice. Right? Because I grew up with rich people that are bad. I said, no, being bad's a choice. We gave over $1 million of teenage scholarships away last year. I don't think making money's bad. You see what I mean? Like, you guys got to pick your thing. What are you going to do? Alright, so I want you to design, how much would it cost you a month to have all of your life the way you want it? Right? What would it cost to have your life the way you want it? And I know a lot of fleeting thoughts from you, but I can't afford it. I don't know. I know you maybe can't afford it today. You don't know how today, but that's why we're here today. Right? We're getting some new solutions. You're going to get some new education, and you're going to put a plan in place so you know how to get this done. So if it's $20,000 a month, right? Anybody like that number? We like 10. 10 was a good number. Yeah. So let's just go with 10. So $10,000 a month, right? It's $120,000 a year. So let's break that down. $10,000 a month is how much a week? Divide by 4. $2,500 a week. Divide by 5 days. It's a $500 a day. Right? So what you need to go and think about and play with in the afternoon is how much you're doing. It's actually your fault. Okay? So just listen. The reason they don't support you is I would ask you how much of the family's money you've spent and not done a damn thing. Because, ooh, I know. I told you I was going to do a little tough stuff. I know. You see what I mean though? It's like, I signed up for another thing. I signed up for another thing. You know you're totally a joke when people say, what are you into now? People don't ask me what I'm into. They know what I'm into. I've been in the same stuff for 16 years. Right? There's no question what I'm into or what I'm about, right? You make a stand for your life. So when you sign up for this, you better make this work. And here's what I know, is when you make this work, don't you think they're going to come along when there's more money in the checkbook? So it's your turn to stop avoiding actually getting it done. Have this weekend, this day, be your conference changer to say, you know what, I'm going to get damn serious about this. Because then they're going to come along. So in the meantime, while you're getting it together, because you really can't point to them and say they're not supporting you. You're the problem. Got that? It is true. I know a lot of you say, oh, that's not really true. Well, then divorce them. I mean, if it's really... it's going to be really bad. Because what I know, and I've saved more marriages with this feedback, is here's the solution. You say, you know what, I need silent support. I know I've wasted a lot of family money signing up for all sorts of crap, and I've been the problem, but I need 120 days, and you can't bother me. You can't say anything negative. I just promise I'll make the family money. And you go for it because you win. They are right with you. You see what I mean? Just ask for silent support while you get your stuff together, because you're the problem, not that. Does that make sense? God, you're going to have so many people coming along. And then get your kids involved. That's the other angle for the spouse. When your kids come along, they'll do all the work with the other significant. They'll be like, come on, Mom. Come on, Dad. Why are you doing shopping, Sherlock? We're going out networking tonight. What are you doing? I'll be like, oh, shit, yeah, I gotta go. And they will. That's a little peer pressure. I love kid pressure. All right? So no blaming. And again, you can't blame where you came from. I grew up, I didn't know any of this conversation. Right? And like all this has occurred since like 1999 when I became a millionaire. So this is a fast time. Like you guys can do it quick, but you all gotta do it. You can do it as fast as I can do it. But you gotta push yourself, you gotta surround yourself with people. You gotta be uncomfortable, you gotta hang out in conversations. Like some of you probably say, oh my gosh, I can't hang out with Laurel, with Randy, because I don't know what these guys are talking about. I didn't know when I started hanging out in rooms like this, I didn't know what the speaker was talking about either. I just dug into their books, man. I read, got educated, I asked questions, I asked for help. We'll help you as long as you want help. But if you don't want help, then stay poor. Kind of over the stay poor thing. And so here's the one thing I'd say across all of this. And this is a big one for you women. Don't convince anybody to come on this journey. Convincing is a wasted energy. And so notice that in your sales process. Right? Notice in your sales process you're convincing somebody. They don't get it yet. You can just embed some stuff, say, you know what, go check it out, and then get moving, because that's too much wasted energy convincing. Deal? Like, I'm not convincing my parents and my family in Nebraska to come on this journey. We just have rules. We don't talk about money. I'm right, they're wrong. I don't say that to them. But we just don't. They're not interested, it's okay. Right? So I just downshift. We talk about our kids and the farm and whatever they're into. Right? It's not about my world. My world is so scary and weird to them. Which, that's fine. I'm not convinced. You guys get it? Yeah. That is a big waste of time no matter who it is. So, this is critical homework for you to really get cleaned up this year. And I would take it as a year project. This isn't something that, oh, tomorrow I can wake up and all this is done. Some of you have to really clean up your blaming stuff. No excuses. Don't say I can't afford it. Say, how am I going to get this business to make me $1,000 a day? Right? And who's making $1,000 a day and start hanging out on their phone calls? Who cares if they're not your direct upline, cross line? I don't care how you get it done. Figure out how to get this done. Does that make sense? All right. Did you have any fun today? Yeah. I love teaching you guys this stuff. So I know you deserve it and you're worth it. Bob Proctor used to say to me until I believed it, that I'm going to believe in you until you believe in you. So all of us that are already in, we're part of the team, we're part of the family, we're going to believe in you until you believe in you, but you got to come with the I got it attitude. Is that a deal? Yeah. You know you're worth it and deserve it, you just don't have the evidence yet. So I want you to get people signed up rigorously. Like, wasn't it a shock? I mean, how much did your psychology shift, right, when you had that much signed up that fast? Like, the evidence is unreal, isn't it?
Yeah, it took me a while to realize what you were doing.
Right. So there's sort of this after the fact, oh my God. But I want you to surge that kind of evidence into your bank account. Because what it does is it slowly starts getting this deservability and worth and believability in the business and really in yourself. Because when you know you're on fire, nothing's stopping you. Right? Like when we were talking to Michael last night, I've been asked to speak at with Branson at his Entrepreneurial Center in South Africa. So in a month from today, I'll be at South Africa, Johannesburg. And we're going to bring this. I just think Randy should get on a plane too. Just go sell it. Right? They need a vehicle. This is a great one. So, money's power. And the one thing I want to say about money is I don't think it's very important. I think it has the most impact in your life. Right? You take away money, you got big problems. Right? It's the currency in which you get to move around the world. And if you haven't moved around the world, that's the other thing I would say is get global. And just through the video stream, we're global. So hi, all you old people out there. Right? Next time you need to come visit us. It's so much more fun here, by the way. So money's power, though. And so here's kind of the framework. I want to teach you how to earn it, right, through Shopping Sherlock. As you do this, you can do other businesses, but first you got to run one right. You got to accumulate it by stop overpaying taxes. That's a critical one. You got to learn to invest. And then this one is critical. You have to learn how to spend. Some of you have really bad spending. You're spending on weird things. Right? And until you're, like, even on your way to millionaire, you want to spend properly, which is why having this business, the Shopping Sherlock, is so critical, because it helps you spend better, smarter. Okay? So our goal is to help you manage it like a pro, stop giving your life away for free. Do you have any fun?
Yeah.
I had a great time with you. I want to give you a gift. I want to give you a gift really quick. I think we might have ran out, but if you have a card or just write your little name and number or something down, like just a piece of paper, but we gave you a card that looks like this. And Patty and Jen, which Patty and Jen's going to be over there. Patty's going to be right there. You hand us one of these. I'm going to put you in a little private mailing list, which is only you guys. Randy and I are going to do 2 acceleration cash webinars. So we're going to do 2 webinars. We're going to put you on a list, so make sure your email's right. And then what Jen and Patty are going to do is hand back to you a card where you're going to go to a link and you can download $600 of gifts from me. And most of it is sales training. Because you've got to get sold. Okay? So we're going to do a gift of training. So you give us one of these, we'll give you one of these, and we'll invite you to a webinar. And it's been great being with you. I'll be with you this afternoon, and let's welcome Michael back up. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's powerful. You know, a couple of things that were interesting, and I was, after 3 cups of coffee and 2 glasses of water, I had to pee so bad, but I didn't even want to leave the room. Actually, she kept me so... a couple of things that Laurel talked about was, first and foremost, marketing and selling. And one of the things that I will tell you is that when you come back from lunch, we're going to show you the new tools that basically do it all for you. Yeah. So, those 2 things about having to, do those and accomplish that, we've created some tools to make this simple and duplicatable and help you do that. And we're really, really excited to be able to share that with you coming back from lunch. So go out. We've got a lot this afternoon to be able to share with you about how to build this business. It's interesting to me, when we talked about, setting up the structure and that kind of thing. And who's got a calculator? $34.95 divided by 30. $1.15 a day to have the Shopping Sherlock business. $249, basically a one-time investment, and $1.15 a day to have your own business and have an opportunity to make, Simon makes over $1,000 a day right now, and we're just getting started. For that kind of investment, who still basically is here as a guest that has not signed up yet? I mean, who can't afford, you can't afford not to get involved in this business. So everybody, just for housekeeping, it's 11:45 right now. If you can be back in the room by 1 o'clock, that would be great. Give you an hour and 15 minutes. They have at the restaurant here, they actually have a great buffet, so go and enjoy that. And we look forward to seeing you after lunch. And again, one more time, just a big hand for Laurel. We're very, very lucky to have her for Shopping Sherlock.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from St. Louis area, and I have many Sherlock stories, but my favorite is my husband and I needed a new HDMI cable for our TV to computer hookup. We went to the local department store, and it was going to be $28.95. We went home, put the same exact model into the Sherlock, got it for 28 cents with free shipping, and yes, the cable worked.
Здравствуйте, друзья! Меня зовут Сергей Кочерин, я Global Power дистрибьютор компании Shopping Sherlock, и я из России, хотя живу в Ливерпуле, в городе Битлз. И, честно говоря, это тот бизнес, где я нашел свой дом, и я очень рад, что я в этом бизнесе, я очень рад, что я могу поделиться им с вами. И я говорю вам, это тот бизнес, который нужен всем. Тот бизнес, который нужен любому человеку, где бы он ни был, где бы он ни находился, у которого есть мобильный телефон, у которого есть компьютер. Это бизнес, который нужен всем. Hello, my name is Sergey, and I'm the global power distributor company Shopping Sherlock, and I'm really glad to be in this company because the company is very human oriented, and I just love to share this opportunity with people. And with good income, also you save more.
Hi, I'm Angela Ruff. I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia, and I love the Shopping Sherlock. My daughter is 10 years old, and she's wanted an ice skating party for a long time. We weren't able to afford it with 4 job layoffs in 4 years. I used my Sherlock to find a $300 ice skating party for 8, and I bought it for my daughter for $99. She's so excited, and so am I. I feel great. I also helped a young man who's going to college. He couldn't afford 2 college textbooks he'd been saving up. I told him I had a free app that would help him save time and money, and he would get a great deal. I asked him to get the information for the books for me, and I helped him install a Sherlock, and then we looked for the books. One book was $230. We found it for $25.99, no tax, no shipping. The other one was $34.95. We found it for $7.49. Again, no tax, no shipping. I had another mom. I said, what do you need? She said, well, I need Scott tissue, super soft, 12 roll. Can you do that? And I said, absolutely, the Sherlock is amazing. If it's on the internet, it can find it. We found exactly what she was looking for, that she normally paid for at a major retailer that discounts for $17. And at Sherlock, we found it for $6.84. Wow. Last example that I wanted to share with you is I have a certain kind of chip. I'm a gluten-free, corn-free girl, and so the only kind of chip I can eat is $5 a bag for 6 ounces, a real budget killer. The first thing that I looked for when I got my Sherlock was this chip. It's called Benito's. I found it for $2.56. I was so excited I ordered a whole box full. Again, no tax, no shipping. I love Shopping Sherlock.